you have a clearer understanding of God's power, and I guess an expanded knowledge too of how to use that power, because obviously this has slipped by over many years, and we need to relearn a lot of that God had originally given to the early prophets. So over time, it must diminish from being sort of led in a class similar to this, I guess. I wonder how they initially got that. Would it be through the Holy Spirit, or would it be through other prophets that had a prophets meeting, and so that they could share the necessary information to continue to exercise, not only faith in God and all the other things that we're learning here, but also to show and exercise that power of God. Thank you. Anyway, thanks, Brother Rex.
Can I just tack on the end here? Just wanted to say, because it tipped me off, Brother Bob tipped me off to a couple of readings out of the Seal Book, and out of chapter 4 of Seal Book of Moses. And one of his that Enoch had identified with those attributes, and it says in verse 19, I think it was, no, 18, that that the reason why God wanted to take him because he had the sum of those attributes within him, and also that it was a major key to understanding the attributes is not to allow any heart full of iniquities when you have those attributes within you, because then it does not work.
Yeah.
If you have any feelings of doubt or fear or
was that the reference there, the one that says, I've never found that in one man before, or so many?
Yeah, I'll read the verse. It says, this is verse 18 of chapter 4 of Seal Book of Moses, and it says, if you can gather all the good feelings derived from my name into the men, women, and children of your congregation, then the sum of these attributes will be my reason to take you, because you bear in yourself the likeness of my only begotten, who is full of grace and power.
Yeah.
Well, so that was the verse. Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Darren. That was a different one, though, to the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But it all gives us that feeling that it's most important as we are learning. Yeah. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for your thoughts. As Brother Brian was speaking, in past lectures, it talked about how the knowledge of God and, of course, his character and attributes reached man and were passed down from generation to generation. And we learned that, that was done from, of course, the parents to the children, and in later generations, of course, it still continued that way. But, as we know, people met in groups, and that information was passed down to more than just, parents to children. It was from that one generation to the next. And much as, what the second invitation is trying to do through the various meetings that we have. So thank you for bringing that up, Brother Brian. So let's, I think I was on 3C here. So that the divine communications made to men in the first instance were designed to establish in their minds the ideas necessary to enable them to exercise faith in God, and through this means be partakers of his glory. We have in the revelations which he has given to the human family the following account of his attributes. Would someone want to read this about this first attribute here, knowledge, the first references there?
Okay. Would you like if I could read there, Brother Rex?
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Well, 4:5, first knowledge. And in Acts 15:18, known unto God are all his works from the beginning of the world. And then lecture 5b, Isaiah 46, remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none else like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Okay,
Lecture
thank
4.
you.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah, let's take a look at knowledge here for a little bit. I did pull some references from the sealed book. Fortunately, I did not have time to put those in, to copy and paste all of that. Let's look at words of Moroni 2. With someone, and these, some are directly speak about, the knowledge of God, and some are more indirectly, but they all have to do with knowledge. Would someone want to read words of Moroni, verse number 2?
Yes, I can, Brother Rex.
Okay, thank you.
But behold, many shall believe the words of this book, and rejoice to know that it proceedeth out of the hand of God, and from their eyes will fall the scales of darkness that prevents them from seeing in their fullness the truth sent from the heavens to the children of men. And before many generations pass, they will begin to coalesce in true knowledge, and they will become a pure and pleasing people in the sight of the Lord upon all the inhabited earth.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Really good verse.
So we see that, from the divine knowledge, if we, as it says, coalesce in that, if we have that within ourselves and as a people, then we become that pure and pleasing people, which we know that the Lord Jesus Christ will finally return to. And what a knowledge we have been given with this record, and how many it has caused the scales to be removed from their eyes. And that's something that I pray daily about, is that multitudes will yet be reached and the scales will fall from their eyes. And it's all about that knowledge, and again, as it says, it being passed from generation to generation. And as the book tells us, it's going to be tough for this generation. It's going to be the generations really after us that will be able to have these high and holy attributes within them. Is there any other comments? Please go ahead.
This is Bob. There is a connection between knowledge, and if it's true knowledge, of course, there'd be a connection between knowledge and truth and light. And I think that's what this verse is saying, that the truth as revealed to us sort of allows the light to shine in a way. And so Yeah, I can see it starts with knowledge, but it doesn't stop there. We internalize it, and hopefully as it's internalized, it turns into light so that we can understand what God's saying. Thank you.
Thank you. And there's another in the verse 4 of the words of Moroni, it also speaks of knowledge. And it's kind of along the same lines as verse 2 here. And is there anyone that would like to read that, verse 4?
I can read it.
Okay.
Verse 4, behold, therefore, in these days the Lord extends his invitation unto his people, saying, come unto me, O ye Gentiles, and I will show unto you greater things than these, yea, knowledge which has been withheld because of the hardness of your hearts. Come unto me, O ye house of Israel, and great and marvelous things shall be revealed unto you, which the Father hath reserved for you from the foundation of the world, and which came not unto you because of your unbelief.
Thank you. I think we had a hand raised. Thought I heard. Let me go look here. Maybe not. Okay. False alarm.
So, okay, I thought I'd make a comment. Is that all right, Brother
Yes,
Rex? It
please,
wasn't
go
me
ahead.
that put the hand up before, but I just put mine up then. I've got a little analogy
Okay.
when you were speaking about the scales that will fall from the eyes of the people that mentioned in the words of Moroni there. And we're seeing that some people are very slow to react or to understand. And you said that this generation will have a lot of troubles with that. But the analogy I have is that it's like a computer. Our minds are like a computer. And presently we've had like an attack of a virus that has got into our system. And to remove that virus, we've got to have new information to overcome that that corrupted sector in our minds, and replace it with with a clear understanding, and that is the seal book. But once that is done, you need to reset the computer as well, and you need to what we call defragment, run a defragmentation to reset everything, and then reboot the computer to have it run smoothly. And this is what has to go on within the minds of the people, that they need to be open to reset that computer and to have it run smoothly and understand those things and have that. And that was just a little analogy that I had in my mind. That because of the what do you call it? The I can't think of the word now. But our former teachings have led us through our fathers and our fathers' fathers have led us on a path that has not been correct. That we can reset that and return to that path of the rod of iron and through the seal book. So that's just a little analogy. I didn't want to take up too much time. Thank you.
That's a great analogy. Thank you. And if anyone else has any references from any of the scriptures that you want to look at, please bring it forward. Next one I have is also in Words of Moroni. It's verse 37. And again, it speaks more about the knowledge and mysteries to be revealed. I'll go ahead and read this one. Lastly, 1/3 of the record of the revelations of John, written by the three Nephites, for insomuch that they saw these things revealed by an apostle of the Lord, whose name was John, when they were caught up and transfigured before the throne of God. And here's where it really talks about knowledge. Were shown unto them all things unspeakable from the mysteries of heaven. But because of the commandment which they received in heaven to keep this knowledge sealed, they did not report it, because they ministered among all the inhabited earth, but recorded the things which they saw and heard to be revealed, when finally these things begin to occur again among the sons of men. So, now, as we know, the three Nephites have revealed some of the things to us, but as we know here, that there's more, and that's, as it says, even just 1/3. So there's always more, it seems, and that's, I'm sure all of us have come to the understanding that the more that we come to understand, the more that we learn, the more we come to know that there's that much more to learn and understand. All right, please, there's a hand raised. Please go ahead.
Oh, this is a comment from Bob. Did you read verse 60 or 6b? In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
6b.
Or 6.
No.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Sorry, I'm ahead of myself. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say, I've come to understand that this is the key, or the very first thing that people have. If you want to build your faith, it has to hang on this statement that God created. If you can't get that in your mind, I don't think you have a very good chance on having a strong faith. That this is where it all begins, and I really appreciate that more as I get older. And I mean, I don't think I need to say any more, but this, of course, King Benjamin listed this first in his list of things, that believe in God and He created all things. And so that's all I have to say. Thank you.
That is very huge, because how many people get hung up on creation, and some believe it was the Big Bang, some believe various things, but if you can't believe that there was a higher being that created all things, then you're not starting on very good ground. Definitely. I have another reference from the sealed book of Moses, chapter 4, verse 50. And all of these have a reference to knowledge in them. Would someone be available to read that reference? This, I believe, is Enoch. Enoch and the Lord conversing. Please go ahead.
Okay, so verse 50, therefore should I not weep, seeing how much they will suffer until they reach the fullness of knowledge that leads them to perfection? Behold, therefore I let you know beforehand that this system which your eyes contemplate will perish in the flood. And behold, I will imprison these disobedient spirits in a prison which I have prepared for them, and their cities with their beautiful structures, and the corpses of their offspring will I conceal under the depths of the thickest mud beneath the vast surface layer of the earth that covers the ground under his feet.
Okay, thank you. And we're still in this situation. We suffer, and how much of mankind suffers for the lack of knowledge, and thinking of, without going much into the eternal round, but thinking of how we can progress or regress, because of what we do in the life that we're in. And if we can gain knowledge and put into practice things that ought to be, then we will progress. And it talks about also in this verse, the coming flood, and in this time it was, of course, the flood at the time of Noah, but as we know, it's not going to be a flood of water in the end times. It's going to be, a fire, as is said. It talks about the system. The system at that time perished in the flood. And it reminds me of the classes that we had about, the system or the matrix, the things that are really the enemy trying to get a hold on us, and I don't really know. I don't really have any more to say than that, other than, we have to realize that that's what is going on even at this moment in time. There's a matrix before us that, has to be shattered, or, as Brother Darren was talking about with the analogy of the computer, things have to be broken down and reset. And the more that have the knowledge that is the case, the better. So anyway, I'll stop rambling on that. Is there any other comments? Any other references? We're probably getting close to time where we should go into our conference talk. Okay. Let me just close this portion with one more verse here. This is also from Sealed Book of Moses 4. This is verse 66. All the days of Zion and the days of Enoch were 365 years. Enoch and all his people walked with God, and he dwelt in the midst of Zion. And he also promised to dwell among his people in the fullness of time for 1,000 years. But behold, in the last days, as in the days of Enoch, that a building of a spiritual temple should take place before the physical temple is erected among the people of Zion, in which the words of this book will help the people to carve their hearts hardened by the traditions and precepts of men, to polish their holiness and to mold them to the true knowledge of my gospel, in order to fit like a living stone in the spiritual structure of the temple of God. And after having passed one generation after another generation, there being no poor people among them, and being of one heart, then there is to be erected a physical temple where I, the Lord, will descend among my people in the last days, just as it was in the days of Enoch. And amen to that. Okay, so as we know, the general authorities have asked us to include a few minutes of what I call conference talk in our meeting. So we'll take a few minutes here and do that. So anyone would like to share their updates regarding getting ready for conference, or perhaps any issues that are being had? Interested to hear of Brother Darren's updates. I know that he was having some issues with getting his visa lined out.
Okay. Okay. Well, I did get back to it again after you probably last heard that we were having a lot of difficulties, and I managed to overcome some of them by checking the boxes a little differently. And I actually said that we didn't have a contact in Brazil. That seemed to be the stumbling block of all the situation that we were in, but it still didn't solve the problem of not having enough character space to fit everything in that I wanted to enter with our address and other things. But I was able to progress, and I got to the point where I actually did finish it. And I went to pay and hit the pay button, pay now button. I thought, well, if that's the way it's got to be, that's the way it's got to be to get through. And I went to pay, and it went to the page that said payment here, but nothing was on the screen. There was nothing. And I clicked it again and again and waited half an hour and nothing happened. So I didn't get to pay it yet, but I am going to get back this afternoon to do that. We've been a little busy the last few days, and I haven't had the chance to get back, but hopefully I'll be able to pay that, and that'll be one through. So then that gives me the basis on what to do for mum and dad as I progress with their ones. My one was sort of like the guinea pig to see what was going to be the problems and what wasn't. But we got all the pictures done correctly. The photos, we had to do that twice to get that done. Yeah. And we also had to have some passport scans done. And the funny thing about the passport scans was that it said you weren't allowed to produce a photo for the scans. It had to be a proper scan. So we did that. And when I went to send it, it wouldn't accept the scan. It had to be in a JPEG, which is a photo. So that was strange. I had to take a screenshot of the scan and send that, and that seemed to go through okay. So, yeah, it's been a comedy of errors with it. But anyway, we got through to the point, and hopefully I'll be able to pay that first one. And if that goes through and I can get mum and dad's through, we will be booking some tickets and accommodation as soon as possible. We really want to get this done. But I'm sorry about my dilemma the other day. I didn't want to sound too negative on my situation, but I was tearing whatever hair I had left in my head out and trying to get it done. Anyway, we thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it can get almost comical at times when it won't accept things that you think it should. Sister Melva has her hand raised.
Brother Rex, did you intend to still have the recording on? I just wanted to ask about that. Thank you.
Oh, I thank you. I don't suppose it needs to be on, really. Thank you.